Bonjour, and welcome into The Cave, the podcast where we dive deep into song lyrics that resonate with our personal experiences. Today, I am joined by Berto, vocalist of Munich's band Lonesome Crowd. We actually also met at work, like I met Arash from a previous episode. The day he joined the company, I could immediately tell that we kind of listened to the same music. So we started talking, and he told me about his band that I got to see live shortly after. Now we've known each other for maybe 2 years, and I invited him to be on this podcast to talk about the lyrics he writes for his band, and so he can talk about his story, from being born in Brazil to living in Germany already since 2019. So welcome, Berto, and thank you for being here.
Thank you too. My name is Berto, and everyone calls me Berto. I moved to Germany in 2019, a little bit before Corona time. I've joined the band Lonesome Crowd in 2021, September 2021.
And so the first song that you actually wrote for this band is called Fight, and you sent me this line, which is, "You fight with no energy left, life throws its last punch. We used to get fucked up, but with this one, we won't dodge." So can you tell us a bit more about this line?
So I wrote this song for a friend of mine. To give some context here, I was going to Brazil after these, as soon as it was possible again, because we had so many restrictions here in Europe, and then going to Brazil was not so easy. And
You mean after COVID, right?
exactly, kind of during, because here in Germany they were having like a lockdown, light lockdown, hard lockdown, and every lockdown had a different rules and stuff. So as soon as I got the opportunity, I flew to Brazil, and was a very special moment coming back after these years. I realized it's probably something you relate to when you're far away from your homeland. You start realizing who are your true friends, who are people you can really trust, and are there for you when you need, even it's like an emotional kind of support, like people that you write, they care to reply, or just even reacting like with an emoji sometimes is kind of showing that like the person is alive. And so yeah, I invited these three people, and one of the guys wrote to me, "Hey Berto, why are you not inviting that person?" And I said, "No, I'm only inviting the true ones." So I went with these guys to the bar, and we were there drinking, talking about life. And this friend of mine, he was there talking about the camping he was going to go during the weekend too. I was really willing to go there as well, but the people going with him was not like the people I used to hang out when I was there. And when you're far away from your homeland, from your hometown, so long, you have so many people to see, a family waiting for you, and they want to be with you as much as possible. So I said, "Oh, I'm not gonna go this time. I'm gonna spend some more quality time here with family." And I went back to Germany, and after 2 3 weeks, I was not at home. This took like 2 3 days. People sharing on Instagram that this friend of mine who was there with me, he was being like missing. Yeah, and everyone looking for him and sharing on Instagram. We kind of, everyone knew what could have happened, but we didn't want to believe it, especially from him, because he was the guy for doing pranks and playing around, and always having the bad ideas. And we thought he's just pranking everyone, or having a bad time, and has gone for to relax, have some, calm down. And it was, I guess, a Saturday evening. I don't really remember, or it was already Sunday. And I was out, and then they sent me an audio that they had found him. By this time, they had found him. He was already without life. And it was very heavy to listen to that, and knowing that you are here alone, and the people you have to talk to, they are not even your really close friends, or they have no clue who the person was. So sometimes you just talk to someone and you cannot even, you feel that the person doesn't really have the
Connection.
the connection. He cannot even relate to the situation. So you just keep it for yourself. I remember I went home, just spent some time listening to some metalcore. He was a metalcore fan. Yeah, he liked the classics, and I was listening to these songs and drinking a lot to try to, I don't know, kind of,
to numb the pain.
yeah, kind of erase a little bit what I was feeling. And at this time, I was already in the band, learning the songs they had already. And I said, okay, it's time to start writing something mine. And I wasn't sure if I was gonna be able to write something cool enough to tell everybody, okay, I want to tell that this song is about this person, but it has to be something good. And then you write it, and when your head is not very good as well, it's also hard to find the words. And you always think, okay, maybe this he was gonna like, maybe that thing was gonna make more sense. Will people understand more or less? So I wrote this song. When I finished, I said like, this is not good enough. But then when you start playing with the band, and you start giving more context with the melody and guitars and the drums, and then for Lonesome Crowd was a very good moment for the band that we start this song Fight, and has some drums part that they are kind of faster than what they used to play. So it was something for them, like kind of out of the comfort zone. At that time, Jonas, he had joined the band as well, so was something that we were writing.
Jonas
together.
is your guitarist.
Yeah, he was. He is the guitar player. He joined after me, and the guitar player Basti, he was already there in the band. So I talked to Basti when I joined the band, and I sent him one of the recordings I had from 2017 from a solo project I was doing, and he liked it, and we had a test, and they gave me a chance. Yeah, in the beginning it was kind of crazy because I didn't know what kind of vocals I should be doing. I was like, oh, should I go more like Suicide Silence, or should I go more like singing? And then I stopped like with this idea. Okay, I'm not gonna do so screamy, so like fried. I'm gonna try something more. I don't know, something more, something different. But then in the end was sounding a lot like, Metallica. And I was like, this is good, but not for us. And I guess nowadays I found how I want to scream there. And so that's the thing, the song Fight, and these lyrics, it's just to remember that we are in a constant fight for our life. And sometimes you're against life. And with this song, I was trying to show that sometimes you're fighting against life, and life wins in the end. And there's nothing we can do to change right now. And there is, you saw me playing live. Every time we play this song before we starting it, I try to talk to the people that are seeing us there. Like if you're having a bad moment, or if you're having like if you're going through a complicated topic, or complicated phase in your life, just remember there are many people around you that they love you and they like you. And if you're gone, many people are going to be missing you. And sometimes when you're alone and sad, you want to have this feeling, I want people to miss me. Yeah, but that's just that's not how it worked. Yeah.
It looks like really it was hard for you at the beginning because also you wanted to honor him and to do something that he would be proud to hear. And also, did it help you? Because you said that you couldn't find people to connect with that because no one knew him back in Germany. So I guess it also helped you to express your feelings and maybe get some connection with other people, and also with the guys from the band to get connection with them.
Yeah, definitely. The guys from the band, they were very supportive when I talked to them. I was very like happy to have found these people, and now until like nowadays we are very good friends and we have such a good connection, and I think this helped me a lot through those days. And yeah, I remember in the end of this song there is a breakdown, and I wanted this breakdown to be heavy because it could be simple, but needed to be heavy because we were going to some crazy concerts there in my hometown, and there was this concert. This guy in the beginning, he was like very connected to the church, and we had some concerts there in the church. And when I went there, all these metalheads and everything, so I saw people moshing for the first time. And when you come from not such a big town there in South Brazil, you don't know what is happening here. I only knew what was a circle pit, and this kind of things you see in
Mhm.
big events. And then when I saw those guys moshing, I was like, oh, and this friend of mine, he was also there. And then I learned how to do it. So I said, oh, we need a good breakdown here. And so yeah, the idea would be to have like one day playing to a crowd that actually understands that breakdown, how heavy it is, and just express their whatever they're feeling. Yeah.
This way, you still have something to remember him that will last forever now in these digital ages. Do you think this is a song that he would listen to and that he would like?
Oh yes, I believe he would. He would like it a lot because he was kind of into not into fighting, but he was like into these kind of jiu-jitsu boxing. I don't know what he was doing there. So whenever we were drinking his house, and there was like he was always willing to start like wrestling with someone and showing up his skills, and he was very like he was strong, going to the gym, very healthy apparently, not even smoking, and I don't know. The guy was like the sometimes not always, but one of the funniest in the group. And then seeing this person going, you know, it hurts a lot. And thinking, I've been also through some hard moments, but I never imagined getting to the end of this moment can be hurtful, especially for people that are connected to you.
It's really important what you're saying because you said in the beginning that he was a joker, always making jokes, always making pranks, that he was super funny, super healthy, and that in the end you couldn't see it coming. Like even people close from him couldn't see it
Yeah, probably
coming.
not. Probably not. We like close friends. I don't know if someone really knows the truth what he was thinking, or I doubt. And I think he was just trying to be the strong guy and hiding everything for himself. And we speculate, we believe, we know some people think that like okay, maybe that was a reason, but we're never gonna know exactly what happened. Everyone showed a little bit of, how can I say, love. They showed some bit of some affection in different ways. Some friends got tattoos about him. Yeah, and other people just cried or just drank a whiskey in memory of him. And yeah, I wrote this song, and every time I listen to some songs, I still connect to him. And especially when I see the text, and I'm sure he knew what those texts were about, even though it's only screaming and stuff. He was a very smart guy and liked a lot to read. So I'm very sure he knew the meaning of those heavy songs. Yeah.
Also, you said that he was very strong and probably had this pressure of being the strong guy, and maybe that's why he kept a lot of things inside. I don't know what's the, let's say, culture in Brazil. Like, is it really open to talk about your feelings, or is it more because when we think about Brazil, we think about people partying, always being super smiling all the time. So, is there a place where you can also show your bad feelings?
Nowadays, luckily, and it's becoming something common, more common, especially I guess everywhere. But there we are like people there are very traditional and very, as I said, we don't come from the biggest town there in the south, and you have a lot of people that maybe parents or grandparents, they were born in the like and worked in the farm for a long time, and they have this old school mentality of not showing much feelings, and yeah, very common to have like parents there. This lot of crazy situations of husband beating wife, and they don't show much because it's kind of ugly to for what other people are gonna think. Oh,
Mhm.
this marriage is not working. So nowadays is much more different, and I think we are running to this path. But and and even though like even if it was just your parents that went through a more complicated era or phase, I think this kind of reflects in the children nowadays, and the way like some people don't even hug their fathers, or a kiss on the
Mhm.
just something here you would do with a stranger, especially in Italy, or friends probably. And it's more like yeah, old times.
As you were saying, it's also mostly for men, like you were talking about dads, especially not showing. And this is why, maybe I'm wrong, but I think the suicide rate is way higher for men than women because it can be seen as a weakness to show your emotions when in the end, this is why all those men keep it inside and
Yeah.
then that it just explodes at some point.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know about how much of men or women do that, but it's not cool. I don't know. It's a huge topic. I'm not an expert to talk about it, but yeah, I just wanted to show that this is how I found how to remember these people, and you never know, it can be a young person, the old one. And this is something I was always afraid when I'm visit Brazil. I have some old relatives there. I try to spend a lot of time with them, or take pictures, or stay with them as much as I can. And then the person that is with you in the bar, you don't even have a picture with him because you think you're gonna be seeing him all every year, and then this person is gone, and all those old relatives, they are still there. I like that they are there, but you
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
It's not in the initial timeline, like, shouldn't be like that. And
Yeah,
this is not something you are prepared for because, as you said, you couldn't tell, and this is just not the natural order.
yeah, it broke the timeline. Yeah.
Previously, you said that you yourself felt depressed at the time. And so this is the transition to the second line that you chose from your song, This Dark. The line is, the memories will let it shine through, and we kept dreaming and we kept dreaming. So is it talking about a time where you felt like this?
Not exactly this time when I felt this. I guess that the worst moment I had was I was not even in a band. Maybe that was also the reason I was getting a bit of a lot of pressure in my mind. So you don't have anywhere to escape or express your feelings. The time I felt very bad, I was in Brazil working very complicated schedules because I was working for Germany there in Blumenau, south of Brazil. So the time zone there, we are kind of behind at the time. So I was waking up at 2 a.m. to go to work during winter there, and people are like, "Oh, winter in Brazil, that cannot be so cold." But yeah, it gets cold and humid, and like 0 degrees, 2 degrees with a motorcycle. It's not very fun. And then sometimes I was going home and feeling like, okay, where is gonna be the tree? Where like some very dark thoughts. And luckily, I passed that situation, and I think, okay, maybe that's something not many people can surpass, not like go through. And then here now you are in Germany, all those small silly problems that you had in Brazil, like with government not working, schools or hospital, the basics work here, and then you start having kind of other issues. Okay, now you have kind of everything that you need, but you don't have those people that you really wanted around you. And yeah, even though you come from France, you more or less feel what I feel like.
Yeah, just being somewhere different that is not home, and a different language, different people, a different culture. This is what you mean, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I was in my flat, the flat where I live nowadays, and was dark. And I guess that day we decided to start the rehearsal with the band a bit earlier on a Sunday. And I remember Basti was writing something, and he said, "Oh, Berto, you already have a text, yeah? All my lyrics I had used already for other songs." And I said, "Yeah, I have it." And then on Sunday, I wake up, the sun is kind of trying to shine, and it's dark. You know, the like end of November, the sun starts rising a bit later. And I was like, oh, this is trying to shine through. And you go another day for the rehearse, and you keep dreaming. This was just like something I was thinking, and not that I really needed to write. So I get my car, I go to meet them, but I have no lyrics. So I have to write something very fast. And I'm inside the car. I have to drive, so I cannot write at the same time. And then I just keep these thoughts and looking the clouds and the sun. And I said, okay, let's do something like this. And I had this sentence in my head. I couldn't write down, but I arrived, and I when I met Bas, I said, oh, I have the text, but the text was too short. It was too short, and I said, I have to do something. And I went to university to study Portuguese and English, and we had some poetry classes there. And there is something called paradox. So it's something like in this sentence of you're writing that, oh, you want this thing, and then like 2 lines later you're saying that you don't want it. And then I said, that's exactly what I need. So here I'm gonna say that the memories will let it shine, and then on the second part I'm gonna say totally the opposite. And it was cool, and I kept that way. I could have written something more, of course, later with more time, but I liked it, and I liked the melody, and in the end, I guess it came out more catchy, like catchier the intro itself than the chorus. Yeah, so and the chorus and like this, is this dark? I say like, oh, is this dark enough to see the path, to see the way, or in this darkness of bad thoughts, and we cannot see through. We had a picture of my living room there with the sun shining, and this picture was exactly what I saw when I woke up, and I said, this needs to be the cover. And then we used that with a painting of a friend of mine in England on the background. And yeah, it's still the picture of my living room, and the sun shining there. It's more or less how I saw it during that morning. And yeah, I liked it.
What paradox can it apply for in your life? Is there one that you were thinking of specifically when you were writing this song?
Yeah, I guess the whole life kind of turns out to be a very good paradox. So when you're young, you just want you know your freedom, and then you turn, like when you grow up, you see that, okay, I have freedom, but it's also dangerous out here. And sometimes you just want to go back to your room and having mom in the kitchen doing something delicious, making something delicious. Yeah, the paradox, I guess, was exactly this thing that I was talking about, that I was in Brazil, I was looking for something better, like better quality of life and everything. And then when you start having these things, you're never happy, like, oh, now that thing is missing, and then how can I have this one but still have that one? And I think that's the paradox. Yeah, some friends of mine in Brazil, they see me here, or they see me traveling, they say, oh, like traveling in Brazil is a hard thing, we don't have much connectivity there, trains and stuff. And they say, oh, Berto's having a good life, but Sometimes you're going to a very good place and you're going on your own, and it's not the same thing.
Yeah, it's about being content with what you have, and sometimes on paper it can look good, but there's something missing. What do you think for you could be missing at this point or at some part of your life to really help you and be content?
Boy, I don't know. I wish I had more, I guess, family presence. In the beginning, I was like missing a lot of friends and family. But as time goes, you see that some friends that were your friends are not really there. And then you start filtering it or you start making new friends. But family, it's kind of harder to make a new family. Yeah, I wish I had more connectivity, or if the world was a bit smaller, it would be easier. After I lost this friend of mine, I started seeing them, my family, with different eyes. Like, am I going to save some money for something for my future, for my own, like for myself, or I'm gonna help my family buying a ticket to come visit me and we have a good time together. I guess I'm having a different style of life, of living, and maybe because that thing with my friend happened, I see brought my father here. He's still able to do stuff with me, but what if I wait 10 more years? It's like coming to Germany. I was gonna wait 1 more year, and my mom pushed me to come a bit earlier. And if I had waited one more, Corona would have would have
Mhm.
started, and yeah, it wouldn't be possible anymore. So
You did something to improve your quality of life, at least on paper, but it always comes at a cost, which is here, mostly the people around you.
yes, you always have to sacrifice something.
And you talked a lot about metalcore. You were quoting bands mostly from metalcore. Do you have any other influences?
Oh yeah, I have. I used to listen to a lot of metalcore, but when I was a teenager, I was listening to a lot of classic things, like Ozzy Osbourne, Scorpions, or not Scorpions, not so much Halloween, and some different things. Just because I had a poster there, like an old poster that I don't even know who that was from, I was just listening to them and trying to understand those lyrics, and that was a fun time during my teenagerhood because I was writing those lyrics on the wall. And my father once came inside the room and said, "What are you doing with these people here? Like all these people with long hair on the wall, and all these lyrics. You should have here naked women hanging in like the pictures." And then I said, "Yeah, back in the days we didn't have the smartphone as we have. Otherwise, he would have translated everything." And I was like just writing Skid Row on my wall there and some stuff like that. So I like these. I played in Brazil in a band. I was the drummer there. So we were playing a lot of hard rock, Guns N' Roses, Bon Jovi, and this line. And personally, I like a lot of listening to country music, even though they are North American culture. I think it relates so much to the South American, and sometimes it reminds home. It's weird to say. We don't go shooting stars every day, but it's a cool reminder. It's comforting listening to country. And when I was looking for the band Lonesome Crowd on the internet, I was not looking for them. I was looking for some guys to play country with me here in Germany, and I didn't find anybody. And then I found these guys. I saw their video, and then that's how it happened. So
So maybe one day we'll get to hear you play for a country band. We never know.
I would love that. Yeah, I like that a lot. And yeah, you see that sometimes the sad music has can go to different areas, and it kind of becomes a language. It's like people that talk about love, and love connects to everybody. And I guess sometimes sadness and these melancholic times can bring people together as well. So when you are sad, you want to listen to sad music and makes you kind of feel, you know, comfortable. And in the end, you're going to a concert to see someone that wrote sad music. And so you feel comfortable as well because you see that you are not the only person having a bad time. And
Yeah, metalcore and emo and hardcore don't have the monopoly of sad music, and we can have it too in country music and any other genres. Well, thank you, Berto. This was a super interesting conversation because even though we've known each other for 2 years, I got to know way more about you.
yep. Yeah.
What's next for you and for Lonesome Crowd in the future?
Well, Lonesome Crowd is going through a busy moment this year. There were a lot of things going on. We have started the recording already of the third EP. Yeah, we have some new lyrics, and I guess I have finally found the way I want to sing and scream. And the lyrics, they're getting a bit better too. I think I'm feeling more comfortable expressing myself. We have one song probably coming beginning next year in January or February. Probably the whole EP is gonna come out around April. We keep writing, we keep dreaming, and I think that's it.
So stay tuned for Lonesome Crowd new EP coming out around April next year. Thank you, Berto.
Thank you too.
Thank you for listening to this episode. I hope you can relate to it and that it helped you find some keys in your life. And if you like the episode, please leave a review and you can follow me on Instagram at IntoTheCavePod. Meanwhile, be kind to yourself. Bye.